Hello everyone, it is day 9 and today's practice offers us an opportunity to reset. We're going to begin today in our child's pose, so come on down to your mat, tabletop position, and we'll walk the knees out as wide as the mat, bringing the 2 big toes to touch in the center. We'll walk our hands up to the top of the mat as we send our hips all the way back and melting the chest and the forehead down to kiss the earth. We're taking a few nice deep breaths here in our child's pose, but maintaining a nice stretch. So we're not just relaxing, but our hips are pulling us to the back of our mat and our fingertips are actively reaching to the top of our mat. On our next inhale, we'll come up onto the fingertips only. And on the exhale, we'll crab walk our hands over to the left side of our mat, getting a nice stretch in the right side body. Inhale, we'll fill up our lungs, and exhale, walk it back to center. Inhale, take a nice deep breath in, and the exhale, we'll walk it over to the right, getting a side body stretch through the left. Take a nice deep breath in, and exhale, we'll bring them back to center, releasing the hands, the chest and the head back down to the mat. On our next inhale, we'll simply rise up from our child's pose and come back to our tabletop position, this time walking the knees together. From here, we'll sit the hips all the way back, letting them rest on the soles of the feet in our hero pose. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can get a towel, roll it up and place it behind the backs of the knees and put a cushion underneath your sit bones for some extra support. From here, we're sitting up nice and tall, stacking the head over the heart, heart over the pelvis. Left palm comes to cup the right kneecap, and on the exhale, we swing the right hands behind us, gazing over the right shoulder, taking a nice twist open to the right. Take a nice deep breath in, fill up your lungs, and exhale, come back to center. Inhale, lengthen the tailbone down, straighten the spine, and take the right hand to the left thigh. And exhale, twisting open to the left side and gazing over the left shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in, and exhale, come back to center. From here, we'll come back to our tabletop position and we'll just check in with our foundations here. Wrists are directly underneath the shoulders and the knees are stacked under the hips. From here, we'll just walk our hands out a little bit further, maybe 1 step ahead of where they were. And we'll slowly walk our knees to the back of the mat. Just maybe 2 steps. From there, we'll melt the chest all the way back to the thighs, lowering the forehead to the mat. Hips are hinging up towards the sky in our puppy pose. If it helps to imagine how a puppy does their stretch, our bum is up in the air, and we're feeling a nice opening in our armpit chest. Yogi's choice of having the toes tucked under or pressing into the tops of the feet. We're here for a few more breaths. Beautiful. On our next inhale, we'll walk it all the way back to our tabletop position. Checking in with the foundations again, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll press into the left hand and on an inhale, sweep the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, we'll float the right fingertips all the way down and thread them through, bringing the right shoulder and ear to the mat. With the left hand, we can come up onto the fingertips, pressing into the fingertips and activating the shoulder blades. If this doesn't resonate, it doesn't feel good in your body, you can take that left hand and just wrap it around the low back, bringing it to rest on the right hip. On your next inhale, bring your palms together, really together. Prayer, Anjali Mudra. Again, just pressing into that right elbow, feeling that activation in the shoulder blades. On your next inhale, we'll come back up to our tabletop position. And we'll walk our hands to the top of the mat. And again, walking the feet back maybe 1 or 2 steps. And whenever you're ready, we'll melt the chest all the way down to the mat, bringing the forehead down to kiss the mat. Coming back to our Anahata puppy pose. Opening up our chest and our heart. Moving slowly with some sweet, deep stretches and twists today. Pressing that reset button. Detoxing. Renewing. On our next inhale, we'll come back up to our tabletop position, wrists under shoulders. From this time, pressing into the right hand. On our inhale, we'll sweep the left fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, we'll draw that left hand all the way through, bringing the left shoulder and ear to the ground. Walk the right hand up to the top right corner and come up onto the fingertips, activating the shoulder blades. Again, if this doesn't feel right in your body, don't force it. Just take that right hand and gently wrap it around the low back, bringing it to rest on the left hip. Making sure that the right shoulder is still opening up towards the sky. On your next inhale, we'll bring our palms together and really pressing into the left palm. So pressing it into the earth, feeling that activation in the shoulder blades. We're spending a lot of time on our shoulder blades at the start of this practice, especially because the majority of us round in the top of our back. We spend a lot of our time seated at a desk in front of our computer or looking down at our phones. And we need to pay special attention to those muscles in our upper back and our shoulder blades. Awesome. On our next inhale, we'll come back to our tabletop. Checking in with the foundations, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And from here, we're actually going to walk our hands up just one step ahead of where they were. So one pace above our shoulder, where our shoulders are. We'll draw the shoulders away from the ears. Take a nice full breath in, really breathing in to the whole rib cage, trying to expand it out a little bit more to the left and to the right. And on your exhale, we'll hinge the hips up and back to our downward facing dog. On our next inhale, we'll slowly begin to walk the hands back to meet the feet, keeping a very big, generous bend in the knees as we fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, we'll lift halfway, make space between the ears and the shoulders, and exhale, fold forward. The same way we got here is how we'll get out. So we'll slowly start to walk our hands back up to the top of our mat, coming into a nice strong plank. Holding it steady here in our plank, navel draws up to meet the spine. Take a nice full breath in, again breathing in and expanding that rib cage. And exhale, we'll hinge the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. On our next inhale, we'll slowly begin to walk up through the center line of our mat, moving nice and slow. We're not in any rush here. And when we get to the top, our feet are inner hip distance apart. Inhale, we'll lift halfway, lengthening the spine. And exhale, fold forward. We'll plant the left hand in the center of the mat and inhale the right fingertips up towards the sky for an upper body back twist. Exhale, float the right fingertips down and we'll replace the left with the right. And on our next inhale, float the left fingertips up to the sky. Again for another twist in the upper back. Exhale, float the right hand down. The left hand, sorry. And on our next inhale, grounding down through all four corners of the feet. Nice strong foundation. We'll slowly begin to roll all the way up. Our fingertips are tracing our front body. And I encourage you to move as slowly as you can, stacking intentionally each vertebrae on top of each other, rolling the shoulder blades down the back, giving an organic lift in the chest, palms facing forward, head over heart, heart over pelvis. Awesome. On our next inhale, we'll send both hands all the way out either side, bringing them up and overhead. On our exhale, we'll open it up and twist open to the right. Inhale, bringing the hands back up and coming back through center. And exhale, we'll twist open to the left. Inhale, we'll lift them all the way back up, coming through center, palms together as we exhale and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms and we'll step it back to our downward facing dog. Growing nice and steady here, really pressing into both feet and pressing into our right hand. We'll take our left hand and bring it all the way back to touch our right ankle. So we're crossing the body, getting a nice twist. And exhale, placing it back down. Beautiful. Take one breath here to center yourself. And on your exhale, again, just grounding through both feet. Nice and strong in the left arm as we pick up the right hand to reach for our left ankle. Nice twist here. Hips are hinging up to the sky. And exhale, placing the right hand back down. Beautiful. On our next inhale, we'll send our gaze up towards the top of the mat. We'll come up onto the tippy toes, bending the knees, shifting the weight forward into our arms, getting that little buoyancy, that lift in the hips. We'll step, hop, or float it up to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. From here, we'll heel toe our feet all the way out as wide as our mat, bringing them on an angle so toes are pointing to the top corners and the heels are in a little bit. Whenever you're ready, you can bring the sit bones and the bum all the way down, coming into our yogi squat, malasana. From here, our triceps are pressing the thighs or the calves away, opening up the hips. Heels are lifted here, if we can lift them. And if you need to get a block for additional support, that's no problem. Beautiful. From here, we'll plant the heels back down onto the ground, lifting the sit bones into the air. We'll heel toe the feet back together, and we'll sit our hips back into our chair, lifting the hands up, palms facing up towards the sky. Exhale, we'll bring the hands together, Anjali Mudra, or prayer at heart center. Holding nice and steady in our strong chair, we'll take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, we'll twist open to the right. So the left elbow hooks on the outside of the right knee. Pressing the palms together, trying to get them back to heart center. One more nice breath here. Inhale, and exhale, we'll come back to center. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, we'll twist open to the left. So right elbow is hooking onto the outside of the left knee. Pressing those palms together, feeling that nice burn in our chair pose. Take a nice full breath in, and exhale, come back to center. Beautiful. I know your legs are dying, but we're here for just one more breath in. And exhale, we'll lower our hands down to the mat, lowering the sit bones all the way down, coming to a nice seated pose and extending the feet out in front of us. With the palms, we can move the fleshy bits of the bum away as we prepare for a seated twist. We'll take our right foot and cross it over the left, planting the sole of the foot into the mat. Take a nice deep breath in, sitting up nice and tall. Imagine that you're a puppet and there's a string coming out the top of your head, and someone is gently pulling on that string to straighten your spine. From here, on our next inhale, we'll swing the right hand behind us, coming in line with the back, our sit bones. So you can either keep your palm flush on the ground or come up onto the fingertips, completely your choice. With your left hand on your inhale, you'll send it all the way up towards the sky. And on the exhale, the left elbow is going to hook on the outside of the right knee and twisting open to the right, gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale to lengthen the spine through the crown of the head. And exhale, can you deepen your twist? Take one more deep breath in, and exhale, come back to center. We'll release the right leg down, shake it out a little bit, and then we'll prepare for the other side. This is our half Lord of the Fishes twist. So whenever you're ready, we'll pick up that left leg, cross it over the right, planting the sole of the left foot on the ground. Swinging the left hand behind us, again, palms flat or up onto the fingertips. Right hand, inhale, lift it all the way up, and on the exhale, we're twisting open to the left. Right elbow hooks on the outside of the left knee. Opening to the left and gazing over that left shoulder. Half Lord of the Fishes. Take one more deep breath in here, and exhale, come back to center and release. Again, just taking a second to check in with yourself. So if you need to use the palm of your hand to just move the fleshy bits of your bum away, feel free. Our feet are nice and strong. The backs of the thighs and the backs of the calves are really rooting down into the earth. Heels are grounding down, sitting up nice and tall, stacking the head over the heart over the pelvis. If you'd like to sit up against a wall to make sure that your spine is nice and straight, that's okay. Inhale, we'll send both hands up and overhead, and exhale, we'll fold forward. If you need an extra bend in the knees, feel free to do so. Remembering that the goal of our forward fold is not to touch our toes, but rather to keep our spine straight instead of rounding in the top of the back to reach the toes. Beautiful. Take one more breath in here. Awesome. On our exhale, we'll slowly roll all the way up and we'll just come to a nice, comfortable, cross-legged position. From here, hands can just fall wherever feels comfortable. Close the eyes. Listen to my voice. Let it guide you throughout the rest of our practice. Draw the shoulders down the back and lift the chest a little. Take a nice deep breath in. And we'll bring the hands either side of our hips, and on an inhale, we'll send them out each side, raising them up overhead. Fingertips come to kiss, and on the exhale, we'll rotate the palms to back each other and float the hands slowly and with control back down. And we'll do that twice more. Inhale, raising the hands up overhead, bringing the fingertips together. And exhale, rotating the palms, floating them back down to earth. And last time, nice energy through the fingers as we inhale and lift them overhead. And exhale, nice and strong through the tops of our shoulders as we lower the fingertips all the way back down. Bring your hands together, prayer at heart center, and bow your head in towards your hands, feeling that last final stretch in the back of your neck. Feel free to repeat this practice as many times as you need. And if you don't have any more time today to dedicate to your practice, feel deep gratitude for showing up for yourself this far. You've got this and you're doing amazing.